I'm going to incept my own stream to make sure I have audio, because we want to make sure that we have audio. We should have audio. Can I refresh this? Wow. I'm going to incept my own stream to make sure. Wow. Okay, that's so much better. That's great audio now. That's great. That's much better than it was before. I'm happy with that. Some good audio. Let me open up the chat browser. Eric, what's going on, man? Logan, you guys, what's poppin'? What's kicking? How's it chillin'? What's going on? I think I figured out our issue. I think I have figured out the P0011 issue. Good evening. You have audio. Fantastic. I do. Oh, Plumber, appreciate the dono, man. Coming in quick with that dono. Appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, so went to Best Buy today. Got a new microphone for this. It's actually one of the ones that actually hangs right here in front of me now, so that way I'm not trying to talk across the desk. I noticed in some of the live streams the audio is like hit or miss. Good day, what's going on? Good evening. We have audio, we have audio, we have audio. Perfect. I have an Audi, apparently. How's the STI? So, yes, let's talk about the STI. So, we all watched the video earlier of the first start of the car. We all saw that there were issues with the P0011 code. Now, I've learned a lot about this code, because when was the first start? The first start was yesterday or the day before. It was Friday. Friday was the first start day, and I've learned a lot about P0011 that hopefully maybe this information can... Ooh, smooth radio voice. Welcome to the radio now. Got some ASMR audio on. Glad to... If it's too loud, just let me know, and I'll move it a little bit farther away. I'm still trying to figure out the audio setup here, but I think I figured it out. So, the audio sounds so much better. Perfect. The live streams itself seem a lot better. Awesome. Glad to hear now that we have actual better picture, better lighting, and an actual decent microphone now. I'm glad to hear the live streams are getting a lot better. But yes, P00 Ami, happy birthday. Before we go any further, happy birthday, my friend. So, P0011. I've learned a lot about this thing. There are a lot of potential causes that can cause this cell to pop up. A lot of you guys have been chiming in also with things that I haven't checked and things that I already have checked. So the most common fix for this P0011, primarily on older STIs, I don't think they use these on newer ones anymore, is going to be those stupid little filters they put in the banjo bolts on the AVCS and all the feed ports for anything that has oil related to it. Those little filters get clogged up. They don't allow proper oil flow to the AVCS, and it creates issues. You get the P0011 code. That's one possible solution. I don't have any filters anywhere in any of the banjo bolts because we've already replaced everything. We're using pretty much all aftermarket lines at this point for anything oil related. So that one's completely out of the case. Next up was mechanical timing on the car. If mechanical timing was off, and it was off to the point where the AVCS internal timing couldn't adjust for it, mechanical timing would be the issue. But we've already checked mechanical timing, and we've already reset mechanical timing to the point where we know mechanical timing is on par. Next up, aside from both of those, actually, I'm going to get to the one that I found last. Some of you guys mentioned the dowel pin on the back of the intake cam gears getting ovaled out, which will cause timing to advance on either the intake cam. So if you guys don't know too much about AVCS, the older STIs from 2004 up to 2006 all are single AVCS, with the newer 07 pluses being dual AVCS. I believe 07 is when they swapped over to dual AVCS. Dual AVCS is where you have the active valve control system on the intake and the exhaust side. So we only have it on the intake side, so that does alleviate a lot of potential problems. Now, because it's only on the intake side, that can really only lead down to it's either the intake cam on the passenger side or the intake cam on the driver's side. Now, something about the P0011 code that I found out is that it's not going to change based off of what side of the car the code is throwing on. If it's on the left hand, first of all, they should have made it like bank 1 and bank 2 on the access port, so that way the relevance of where you're sitting in relation to where the car is doesn't play a huge factor on left versus right. So left side is going to be the driver's side. It's the left-hand head, left-hand cam, left. Right-hand side is going to be the passenger side, right-hand cam, right-hand side of the car, from perspective of the driver's seat. Now, when we first got the P0011 code, we were getting it on the right-hand side. So if we're getting it on the right-hand side, theoretically, there could only be so many things that it could be, and there's a couple of troubleshooting things that you could do to try to narrow it down. Now, before we started like moving anything around, disconnecting and plugging anything, something that's a very good idea to do, if you guys don't have one, I do suggest you guys snag one, is a multimeter. If you guys have a multimeter, what you can do is you can unplug both of, because remember, we did tamper with that wiring harness when we had it out of the car. We cut off connectors that we weren't using. We repaired some damaged wires that were on there as well. So it could have been an engine harness issue, or it could have been a grounding issue also, because remember, we did powder coat the intake manifold, and there are 2 grounding points on that intake manifold where the harness actually grounds out to. Both of them are on the front facing side of the manifold closest to the front of the car. So I went through there, I cleaned off both of those grounds again, took some sandpaper, took like a little bit of Scotch-Brite on a wheel, cleaned those off, make sure we had good grounding points. After we did that, we went ahead and unplugged both of the AVCS plugs to make sure that they're getting power properly. So the way you do that is you obviously put the key in the car, turn it to accessory power, grab your multimeter, turn it over to voltage, so that way it's reading current and voltage, not amps or anything like that, because then you're just not going to get any good readings on that one at all. Now with the car in accessory mode, just stick the multimeter right in there. You can see what the voltage is going to the AVCS solenoids. What I found, which I don't think is a huge issue, and I don't think a huge variance in this is that the driver's side AVCS electrical connector was seeing 0.99 volts at just accessory power, while the passenger side was reading 1.5 volts at accessory power. Now, I don't think this is a huge issue. I don't know too much about electronics. I've been trying to find whatever FSM I can find to see what the actual voltage is supposed to be going to those AVCS solenoids. But what we decided to do is, obviously we were having this AVCS issue on the right hand side, which is the passenger side of the car. So the easiest thing to do and the freest thing to do before you start spending any money replacing anything that might be damaged is go ahead and remove those OCV valves, which are going to be the oil control valves. They're the little, let me see if I can pull up a picture of them real quick. They're like OCV valve STI. I didn't even set up screen share before I pulled this up. I don't want shopping. Don't pull up the shopping list. I didn't even set up the window capture. What am I doing? Come on, we're Safari right there. Boom. So this is the oil control valve. We have 2 of these in the, I don't think the 07 Plus has 4 of them. I believe they still have 2 of them also. But these guys, so what you can do is you can swap out these and swap sides with them. So because we knew that one of them was failing or one of them was giving us issues, we could easily pull one out, swap it to the other side. Now, like I said, the code originally started on the right-hand side of the car. So we unbolted both of these, pulled them both out of the car, cleaned them thoroughly, swapped sides with them, so that way whatever code was being thrown on the right-hand side, if it followed to the left-hand side of the car, this is probably our issue. These are relatively, they're not crazy expensive. Like, what does it say right there? $99 in stock. I've already ordered these because I do figure that this is the problem. Now, once we moved those sensors over, we cleared all codes off of the car. We started it back up, let it idle for a while, and then we got the code again, P0011. Now, what I thought was going to happen is that code would change from left-hand to right-hand side, but it doesn't, because it's still a generic code, which P0011 is just for the intake cam over advancing. Now, if it's over advancing, it's not going to throw like a P0021, which I thought it was going to, trying to figure this out, but it doesn't. So when it threw that code again, instead of it being on the right-hand side, it was now on the left-hand side. So the code seemed to follow this bad oil control valve, and these just sit inside of the little AVCS carriers, holders that attach to the head. Relatively easy to get to. As you can see, there's like one hole on it. It's just one single 10mm and one electrical plug to get those out. So they're relatively easy to pull out and swap around. So the code did follow this, so I do suspect that the oil control valve is the problem. So I already went ahead and ordered 2 of them. I had them overnighted, so I should get those Tuesday to be able to put those in the car and test it. So I should be able to get those in the car and test it to see if any of the problems have corrected themselves at this point, because I've seen a lot of issues with either electrical stuff, oil control valves, cam gears. If the cam gear itself has failed, if timing is bad, if the cams are bad, there'll be a lot of issues that actually contribute to this. But if you guys are experiencing this code and you don't want to go out and throw the money in trying to get your car running, and you want to, why did I just do that? Just open up the chat for everyone to see twice. But if you guys don't want to spend all this extra money trying to figure this out, definitely do this first. Swap over those OCV valves first. They're free, they're easy to get to, they're easy to swap. If the code comes back and it goes from left hand to right hand, that's probably going to be your problem. Now, I do not know if 100% this is going to cure the problem, cure the issue, but this is what I'm expecting it to be, only because that P0011 code, just because that code did follow that OCV valve when I pulled it from one side and moved it to the other side. Now, like I said, it could be all over the place. I don't know if this is actually going to be the correct fix. I don't know if this is going to fix it at all. I am definitely hoping it would, because it's an easy fix. We don't got to like pull anything back out of the car. We don't have to take timing back off the car or anything like that. I'm tired of taking timing off the car. I've taken timing off this car like 3 or 4 times now, and I've redone it probably 5 or 6. I don't want to do it anymore. When is the Dyno Tune is Thursday, so the local Subaru dealer, nobody has 2 of these things in stock. One Subaru dealer does have 1 of them, which I've already ordered, so I just have to go pick it up tomorrow. With that being the case, I can at least get 1 of them in there, so I have 2 known good OCV valves in there, just to see if that's going to correct the problem. I'm still going to put 2 brand new ones in there anyways. I don't know when those OCV valves were swapped out last, and like none of us know. We don't know what happened to that car before I had it. The last owner probably blew up the motor, put it back together all cobbled and half-assed, and then sold the car, traded it in because he didn't want to deal with the issues anymore. So if that's the case, if that last motor that was in that car did blow up, what can happen is metal particulate, any contamination, dirt, anything like that can get up into those OCV valves and create problems. So they could have been in the car when it blew up the first time, whoever had it prior to me. Who knows at this point? So hopefully this is our new camera. You look hella crispy. Thanks, Juan. This is just the camera that I used to film all the videos on. I've just gotten the stuff to be able to actually use it to live stream with. Trying to increase stream quality here. We're trying to get the stream quality much crispier and much better, but hopefully this fixes the issue. I don't see anything else being the problem. I know when I put the cam gears in, the dowels were not oval. They were perfect little circles. They lined up perfectly. They slid in without any issues at all. I know timing's on point, so hopefully this is the problem. Hopefully this is the issue. P0011. A lot of people refer to this thing as like the death code of Subaru, or like the cancer of Subarus, because it's typically something that happens when your engine is on the way out, which can be a huge true fact depending on the severity of the P0011. But if it is highly recommend removing the screens and the banjo bolts. Yes, if anyone hasn't removed the screens in your banjo bolts, it's definitely a good thing to do. That was one of the first things that I did when I bought this car. But with adjustable cam gears like the Tomica ones, it says you have to modify the intake cams and the intake cam seal. Do you know what they were talking about? I don't. I didn't even know Tomica Racing made cam gears for these cars. I know the only ones that I've looked into are the Brian Crower ones, just because obviously I have the Brian Crower cams, and I have been debating just losing AVCS in general and just going to an adjustable cam gear setup. But I mean, it's easier just to try swapping these OCV valves and getting it back on the road that way, than waiting for cam gears to come in, having to manually set all that stuff. It'll just be a little bit easier to do it like this. Did you set the timing? Correct, the 1 tooth off. So technically it wasn't 1 tooth off when I initially went to put it on there. It was just the way that it looked. I was still like super paranoid about it being off. So instead of just running it as is, I had Matt double check all of my timing, so that way it's just better to have 2 sets of eyes on something than it is 1. So we redid it all, super solid. Hopefully it all stays in time. There's no reason it shouldn't. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying. If the audio sounded too loud, just let me know. I moved the mic away a little bit, but we should be solid. Jamie, let's get the donos going so we can see this car running again. I mean, technically it runs. It just doesn't run for very long. Hopefully, I mean, we'll get it running. But appreciate the dono, Jamie. I always appreciate it, my friend. Like I said, Carl, if the audio's too loud, just let me know. I move the microphone away a little bit. You have the factory service manual, right? I don't. I have bits and pieces of it here and there. Cody, appreciate the dono, my friend. I always appreciate the donos, you guys. Always helps. Always goes back into the channel for improving quality stuff, either camera stuff or car stuff. But geez, Rob, appreciate the dono also. You guys are killing it. Killing it every single stream. Always appreciate it. But yeah, no, I do not have the full factory service manual. I have it for the 17 STI, which should be relatively close to what it should be for the 05 STI, but there are variances in there, so I just need to get a downloadable link for the 05. I just wanted to say your motivation through all of this ish is crazy inspirational. You're the one who inspired me to go through my 380 wheel horsepower build for the summer. Thanks, bro. Hey, anytime, my friend. It's just like, it's not like we have a huge, audio's still overpowered. All right, hold up. Let me like bring this thing out real quick. Which way is down? I don't know which way is down on that. We're just going to push this back. We'll just put that right there. We'll just put that guy right there. Stay. Don't. Is it spinning? I think it's spinning still. Stay. I'm working on the audio stuff. I'm still working on this thing a little bit. Hey, what do you think about the Cosmetic Motorsports here in H-Town? I've heard of them before. When I was living down south, they were an awesome shop. When I lived down in Louisiana, is this thing still rotating? It's not. When I lived down in Louisiana, a lot of people went through there. Cosmetic, awesome little shop down there. Eric, appreciate the dono. Catch me up. What did I miss? So, quick and dirty. What I believe is the problem with the car is the OCV valves on the AVCS. We tried swapping them over back and forth. Now, well, since we're talking about this again, here's the thing that maybe some of you guys know that I don't. With your gain is a little high. All right, hold up. Let me try turning the gain down. I think to turn gain down... Hold up. I need to grab this other microphone. Okay, hold up. So with gain... Jeez, I don't even know what I'm doing. Right now. So with gain... Whoop. So gain's got to go that way. There we go. I think I got it fixed. Okay, I'm still figuring this thing out. I'm still figuring this microphone out. Stop moving. See, and then it just like... Do you see this? Like, do you see this? I'm still figuring this thing out. So I do apologize if it is a little bit funny. Stop with the spinning. Can we just stop with this spinning? Every time I get new equipment. Every time. Okay, we're just going to like put you right there. Stay. Don't you do it. The Jazz BMX. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to figure this thing out still. What can I do here? What can I do to make this thing not spin? Like, I don't know. I look like a hot mess right now. Chill. Let's get the donuts going so it doesn't get rid of the STI Subaru cars in general. The Subarus will never go anywhere. The STIs aren't ever going to disappear. They're not going anywhere. Don't worry about that. Were you at JBL and were you in? I was not. I was down at Fort Polk. I would not recommend Fort Polk to anyone, ever. Don't go to Fort Polk if you can avoid it. If my 14 STI makes a ticking noise when warming up and doesn't get louder when I accelerate, if it doesn't get louder when you accelerate, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Lefty, lowery, righty. It's upside down. See, the microphone's upside down though. Like the microphone is mounted like this, and normally it's mounted like this. It's just, I had to figure it out. Okay. All right. I'm struggling out here tonight. No problem, man. I'm mechanically inclined and love your videos and help me with my build on my 2019. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Sounds good now. Perfect. RS sold for parts today. Why sadder about it than I thought I would be? That is sad. What, you sold the RS for parts? That's sad. Come on. It's an RS. Okay, yeah, anyways, with the AVCS thing, that was kind of throwing me off. Did this get closer to me? I don't think it did. AVCS, maybe one of you guys know a little bit more about this than I do. I know that when you go to reset the ECU in the car, AVCS takes, what is it? It's up to like 2 minutes to calibrate or something like that, or sync up with each other on the left and right side. But what's throwing me off is that whenever I go to get it, like whenever I reset the ECU, AVCS left is always at 0, AVCS right is always at like 30. Up until the car reaches 140 degrees, or it hits like that sync or that calculation point when everything like gets aligned with one another. Does anybody know, is that normal? Should they both be reading? Because as soon as it drops below 1000 RPM, it gets up to 140 degrees or whatever the parameter that it needs to meet, they instantaneously sync back up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know AVCS that well. It's slowly coming towards me more. I can see it. I can see it doing it. Stop. Does anybody else know about this stuff? Like AVCS stuff like this? I definitely don't. Could you stop spinning, microphone? That would be great. Stop. Just please stop. Please stop. Don't. I can see it spinning. I can literally see it spinning towards me. So, this is an issue I got to work out later. Your mic is definitely moving. It's like slowly coming at me, and it's like all I can watch now. But back to the AVCS thing. I don't know if that's normal. Some of you guys might know. It's moving ever so slowly. You guys are gonna. Let me grab a piece of tape. Hold up. Hold up. All right. Tape. Literally just going to tape this thing so it stops spinning. Yeah, I know. Small dog, I know, right? Jesus. He is gone. Pizza talk. Don't pizza talk me. But anyways, hold up. Let me... What am I doing? I have scissors. I'm a civilized human being right here. Oh my god, this tape better work. This tape better work. Come on, we're just gonna push you back. This really wasn't happening earlier. Like, this was not a thing earlier. All right, it's taped down. It's not going anymore. No more spinning. Instant fix is the best. Tape fixes everything. It's heat tape too, so that thing's good to like 400 degrees. Both AVCS should be at 0. At idle. Good to know. That is good to know then. That clarifies what I was looking for on that thing. Yo, just saw the helmet too. The race equip? Yeah, the helmet's for like both the cars. Love the new setup, man. Anyways, I got NVIDIA equal length headers and downpipe. As you know, I got the SF intake, NVIDIA N1 exhaust. What boost controller do you recommend? 16 STI. To be honest, they're all pretty much the same. Grimspeed, Cobb, whatever one you end up getting, they all work relatively the same. High temp tape for the win. See, that's what I'm saying. It's good high temp tape. Yes, should be at 0. That's good to know then. That's good to know. That's good to know. Good to know. That actually narrows down quite a few more stuff. If they should both be at 0. I got some other stuff I got to work out with that thing then. I may have just missed it in a video, but did you have to do anything out of the ordinary to fit the FP Black? Hope the gremlins go away. No, the FP Black... Tanner 1 Mike 0. FP Black dropped right in. Didn't have to grind away the bell housing. I had that question come up randomly, actually. So someone else asked me that question. I don't remember who. But no, there's no like grinding or anything you have to do to make the FP Black fit. It should just literally drop right in. No issues. I wouldn't foresee any issues. I didn't have any issues. Back to the Domino's talk. Jeez, yes, both should be at 0. Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting because I guess it's possible when I put the cam caps on, maybe I put a little too much 3-bond sealant on the cam carrier and maybe it's blocking the oil passage to the cam gear, but that wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't clarify the issue of why the over advance happens left versus right whenever I swap the solenoids. I don't know. These are not fun issues to have to chase down. Hey man, one more question about cold starts on my 15. There's a particular squeaking noise when I press in the clutch. Is that the throwout bearing? That is more than likely your throwout bearing, unfortunately. Or check your pitch stop welds. Could be either one of those. Well, if tape fixes everything, then why haven't you wrapped the car? I did. At some point. No, I didn't. It's not going to fix that. Come on. Did you check to see if your oil control valve was working? Yeah, so I don't know how well the camera will actually pull this up on photo via camera. I don't know if it'll focus on that. Like, focus. Oh, actually, I know how to do this. What am I doing? I have a DSLR in front of me, so... Whoop. So the 36 is right hand, the 0 is left hand. This is before the car was warming up. Now, after the car warmed up, both of them sync up with each other, and they both follow each other the exact same. So they're both definitely not at 0 at idle. Or at idle on cold start. I can tell you that much. So something is definitely wrong there. Did you check to see? Talked about that one. I got a Reman Male via 43. I believe from previous owner, and I have an OEM via 43. Should I replace the remanufactured Male Turbo? I have an OEM via. I mean, I wouldn't. If it's remanufactured, I wouldn't worry about it too much. As long as everything like checks out and it's all like solid, I wouldn't stress about it too much. I had to grind my bell housing. Apparently, it's hit or miss if you got to grind your bell housing or not. The turbo, you do have movement with the turbo. Like the up pipe, you can move the up pipe. If you undo the up pipe brackets, there's 2 studs on there with 2 14mm bolts. If you just loosen those up, you can move it around a little bit, and the turbo should be able to fit in there, hopefully to give you enough room. Did you turn it on and off again? Multiple times. Could be throw-up bearing, TSB with Subaru, that is true. I'm currently fighting the same issue. Oof, these issues are never fun. I'm telling you, man, check that phaser. That's what I'm going to do. If it's not the oil control valve, like I said, I'm picking that up tomorrow. If it's not the oil control valve, the cam gears are going to come back off. I don't have much of a choice, but I'm going to have to pull them off at that point. Eric, appreciate the dono, man. Rolled my fenders yesterday. Got paint chips despite heat. Spent all day repairing the paint. Fender liners don't want to sit in place now. Unfortunately, that is the sad reality of fender rolling. Is your fender liners are never going to want to sit back in place. The paint thing, try more heat next time. That's what I've had to do. I mean, a lot of it's trial and error when you go to do it. Just takes time. Just takes time to practice. Also, Emmanuel, appreciate the dono, man. Hi, buddy. Hope you figured something new since last messaging me. I pick up the new oil control valve tomorrow, so that's going to narrow things down a lot. If the oil control valve doesn't fix the issue, it has to be a cam gear phaser, or the oil passage from the cam cap up to the cam gear. If there's if a little bit of too much 3-bond got put on that thing, and it's blocking that passage, that's definitely something that's going to have to be worked out. So, you know, small problems, small issues here and there. We'll get it worked out one way or another. I have till Wednesday night to get them all worked out. That's not a lot of time. There are belt pulleys that are adjustable, correct the cam timing. I do agree, but I don't think that is our problem. I don't think that's the issue. Hi, hello. My mom decided she doesn't want the O2 Beetle back. Should I rotary swap it? Yeah, why not? Why not? Did I see the 1,000 horsepower FA20? I did see that. That is impressive. I think that's the first, like, over 1,000 horsepower FA20. I think that's the first one. I'm not entirely sure on that one. Not entirely sure. Gonna buy an '08 Subi. Everyone's talking about the head gasket thing. Should I be concerned? I mean, the '08s... the '08s aren't more prone to head gasket failure. They're more prone to like spinning a bearing. The Subarus that really had head gasket issues were the early model 2.5i's that were naturally aspirated. Those ones like used to eat through head gaskets. But with the '08 to 10s, it's more or less a bearing thing. When Subaru did a lot of the redesign from '07 to '08, it's just something that was not given the proper attention. We'll say that. I need to do a trans drop to replace my clutch. I suggest pulling the motor. It's always easier to pull the motor. If you didn't get the on and off joke, take a day take a day off the Subi and watch it the crowd. I gotta turn it off and on. I mean, that's what I do with everything. If it's broken, turn it off, turn it back on. Works. That's what I did with this microphone earlier. It was like muting my computer for some reason. Turn it off, turn it back on. Worked. Also, did you take the wire mesh? Yes, I did. That was like the first thing I did. How bad is a wheel bearing hub replacement 19 STI? It's not awful. There's definitely worse things you could do. I'll tell you what. I'll do your hub replacement if you figure out this code situation for me. No, but in reality, it's not that bad. Was the axle has to come off? Lower control arm, coil over, should come off pretty easily at that point. How's it going, man? Still trying to figure out why the passenger side smokes up by the turbo to the up pipe. Don't see any leaks. The up pipe itself could be cracked. If it's a stock up pipe, it could be cracked inside of the heat shields. If that's the case, it could be letting a lot of smoke come up and out of the up pipe, and you might just be seeing exhaust. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that's it, but it's a possibility. How would I run a hob switch? What is a hob switch? What is a hob switch? I don't know what that is. I do not know what that one is. I'm wondering what's the story behind the hat. What? This hat? Why? Why is everyone always like so curious about this hat? A lot of people like tell me I need to get a new hat. What's wrong with this hat? I don't understand. Hopefully it's not the harness like I mentioned. I don't think it's the harness because when I went to check resistance on the harness and check voltage and everything, everything seemed to be working just fine and it was getting voltage as it should. I believe. I have a 2015 STI with coilovers and a catback exhaust, no mods to the motor on stock tune. I just spun a bearing. Will Subaru deny the extended warranty from the lawsuit? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer on that one. That would be something I would try bringing up with Subaru if they start throwing a fit or something along those lines. Might be a good time to contact a lawyer if you have to. Would you ever do a more in-depth video of how to install the IEG AOS? I feel like the one I have is pretty in-depth, but I can definitely make a more like super in-depth one. I mean, I could do that. I feel like there's a point where I do a lot of the installs when it comes to DIY how-to videos, but it also gets to the point where I'm not. Maybe I might if the opportunity ever comes up, I might. Did you figure out if the heads have been decked before? If it has bigger cams, so maybe. I mean, I'm assuming the heads have been decked at least once prior. Outside of that, I can't verify how many times it's been decked. Like I said, I'm the fourth owner, so I don't know how many times that engine has been taken apart, put back together, anything like that. It's up in the air. I feel the blown life. LOL fast pub places didn't put the oil filter on all the way. FML should have had it back sooner, but ooh, I'm sorry to hear, my friend. I'm sorry to hear. Having a situation like that is not something that's good for anyone. If I'm having the same clutch squeaking noises as said earlier and need to swap the throwout bearing, what route do you recommend I go to swap? Remove the engine. 100% remove the engine. It's always easier. Yep, I've seen that when using too much glue and blocking it. It's a very real possibility that could be the problem. Smedia, we going to link up Thursday? I don't even know if I'm going to be there Thursday. That depends on if the car cooperates. If the car cooperates, yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down. So let me know. But yeah, it could definitely be that there's too much 3 bond, and it could be blocking that oil passage that feeds the cam. If that's the case, I mean, that's a relatively easy fix. I feel like I could get in there with a small pick, maybe some toothpicks, pull out anything that might be blocking it at that point, just so that way we can have proper oil flow. I'd rather not if I can avoid it, so that way I don't have to pull cam gears back up, because I do not enjoy pulling cam gears back off, but I don't enjoy taking cam gears on and off. Let me say that. It's just not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable. How's the EG33 build coming along? The motor is down and out front. We're waiting on FedEx to finish the claim, and then they can start swapping everything over. Why are CVT transmissions so notorious for being bad? Because they're not that good. Like, they're just not. Melanie's car has a CVT in it. I'm definitely not a fan of it. It doesn't shift smooth. It doesn't shift as smooth as it should. And the CVTs don't like to hold power all that well. What are the prone problems on the 11 to 14 STI sedan? I mean, there aren't a lot of prone problems. Like, general Subaru problems is what they're prone to, but like specialty issues, there really aren't too many specialty problems limited to the 20 to 14s. Dirty oil. I got brand new oil in there. You think I put dirty oil in there? I wouldn't put dirty oil in there. But yeah, dirty oil, if you don't change your oil, you can definitely get a P0011 code. That is another factor that could be causing the code. What up, Byron? You're the best, man. I see negative 4.2 feedback knock randomly during watt pulls. I'm on 470 horsepower with external wastegate. Dam stays at 1 no knock. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Unless you see dam decreasing and feedback knock increasing, that's when I would be worried. Head gaskets were really bad on the Phase 1 EJ25 engines, the NA engines back in the day without MLS head gaskets. Yas, they were terrible. Terrible. Illuminati hat. It's not Illuminati hat. Bro, I'm so sorry. My friend has a P0012. Same thing pretty much. Not fun. Not enjoyable. These are like the worst codes that you could have. They're probably the most... Actually, they're up there. They're probably one of the most annoying codes you can have as a Subaru owner is getting the P0011 and the P0021 codes. But I'm really hoping that this oil control valve thing fixes the problem. I really think that that's going to be the issue here, just because that code seemed to follow the oil control valve whenever I swapped it from one side to the other. It would follow right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. So tomorrow I'll be able to verify that. I'll definitely pull up a video. I'll make a video on troubleshooting this P0011 code when I'm out in the garage. Also, just maybe in the future somebody else comes across, they have the same issue, and they're not stuck looking at all the same answers that everyone else has on YouTube or Google, where they're all saying filter screens, filter screens, filter screens, filter screens. Like, yeah, the filter screens are they're a symptom of the problem, or they're a cause of the problem, but there's other causes that can be the problem. There's other issues that can be the problem. Obey is a decent brand. I have a super old shirt from them. I've had this shirt. I've had this hat for years. It's hard to find a hat that fits you good. It's hard. Don't forget you have adjustable belt pulleys to correct cam gear timing. They do have those ones, but I really don't think I need them. What do I think about the whole EPA stuff? I mean, the EPA has been trying to do this for years. They're finally just starting to crack down on it a lot more. So, I mean, as car enthusiasts, there's really not much we can do but protest in a way of doing what I seen, like a signature block going around to try to do something to like prevent the EPA from restricting like race car applications. I don't know how strict the actual thing is, but I've seen petitions going around. I think that's about the extent of what I've actually seen. Come on, people, leave the hat alone. He has enough problems. The hat is not a problem. Why are we hating on the hat? Why are we hating on the hat? But in an earlier WRX is like a dream car. The earlier ones, things like this throw me off from getting Subaru sometimes. It's really only the older ones that have been tampered with. This WRX is the exact reason why I tell you guys stay away from, if you're looking at buying one, stay away from modified Subarus. Like even slightly modified. Anything that looks like it might have been modified, just stay away from it. It's more problems than it's probably worth. Unless you like really want that car. Also, Connor, appreciate the dono, my friend. Appreciate the dono, dude. You're half a tooth off is very normal. That's what I figured. That's what my tuner said also when I asked him, just to see what his take on things were. Just because it's good to get multiple ideas. You guys have been a huge help. You guys have been throwing ideas out there that I haven't even thought of yet. So cam phaser has been a real big one. Oil journal going from the cam cap over to the cam. If that's the case, I think I could clear it out. If that were the case, I think I could just pull off the cam gear, the intake cam gear. But that doesn't make sense, because if there's a blockage in that galley, then the code wouldn't follow left to right, right to left. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'm curious. I was talking to Matt about this yesterday. I was like, how have we not developed, like, what is it? Animals evolve over millions of years and whatnot. How have we not gotten to the point where we can pinpoint where a specific problem is in a mechanical system, and like a golden beam of light shoots out from that problem, and you're like, oh, there it is right there, and then you just fix it? How have we not gotten to this point in life yet? How have we not gotten that far? I tell you what, a friend of mine picked up an awesome, great find today, in 1989 Plymouth Voyager SE Turbo with Chrysler's 2.5 liter. Ben, always coming in with the cool finds. We talked about the Hob switch is a boost activated switch for a second fuel pump. I need to look into that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Look at that. I'm learning new stuff. I didn't even know that was a thing. I gotta check it out. My GF wants a Miata, but hates the way it sounds. On the other hand, she loves the way my STI sounds, but hates the way it looks. Would you be up to EJ? We're gonna run into more problems. I'm down for it. I'm always down for like fun swaps. I mean, that'd be cool stuff. Minecraft again, just noticed some vocal lag. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here, but I think there is a small delay. Did you check for corrosion on any of the connections throughout the harness? A solved position sensor I had. Back to the Hob switch. I did check the harness for everything. Like I said, I checked voltage on the harness. The harness came back voltage-wise solid. Didn't have any issues with that. Tomorrow is going to be a lot more troubleshooting. The past 2 days have been a lot of troubleshooting trying to narrow this down also. But I think those have really narrowed it down to the oil control valve at this point. I'm full bolt-on except bigger turbo. I'm full bolt-on except bigger rad. Why did I say turbo? You got bigger turbo? Do I really think a bigger radiator is necessary? It'll definitely help. I don't think it's necessary unless your stock one starts to fail, or unless you start seeing some really high temps, or unless you're really pushing that stock radiator past what it's capable of doing. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. A Subaru Boxer engine equals one of the least reliable engines ever made. This is the only... How many Subarus have I had? I think I've roughly had 20 Subarus. That's going to range from like Foresters, WRXs, STIs, Imprezas, BRZs, everything. This is the only one that's ever given me issues to this extent. So a 1 in 20% chance of having one that has a lot of issues. I mean, I feel like those are pretty decent odds. You can have a lot of issues with a lot of cars out there. My turbo from FP Green never worked. I got it with the FP oil feed. So bummed. Bought all my mods brand new. Why FP do me like that? I don't know why FP do you like that, but I'm not a huge fan of their oil feed routing on their car. I'm just not a huge fan of the way that it goes, especially how it's pulling. Because you have the AVCS still pulling. If you have Type 1, I guess it depends on if you have Type 1 or Type 2 for your AVCS setup. For mine, I believe it's Type 2 is that one, because Type 1 pulls from the back of the block, and then it also pulls from the AVCS, where the AVCS Type 2 or Type 1, I don't remember. You got two different types. I'm just not a fan of the way that FP routes theirs. What do we got going on over here? Is the cylinder 4 cooling mod easier to put in? Or is it easy to put in? It's not hard to put in. It's annoying. It's easy. It's easy to put in, but you gotta have like little baby hands, be able to get your hands up behind like the back of the block. You got the whole steering shaft in the way. If you don't have it, I would definitely suggest a 1-inch crow's foot. That's gonna make your life a lot easier. Miata is always the answer. I want a Miata. 1 in 20, and you're the 4th owner, so it's most likely driver error. You never know. You never know. Could be. Could be. I haven't really been able to drive this car either yet, so. Still dealing with the problems of the past with this one. Yo, Connor, what's going on, man? What's going on, dude? What does exhaust cam slow code mean other than it being slow? I would have to do more research into that one, because off the top of my head, I don't know. I've been all about intake cams the past couple of days. I'm all about the intake cams. All about them. Chrysler has always had these tricks up their sleeves for spicing up the most mundane, ordinary automotives on the road, from economy cars to minivans. Fun stuff. Fun stuff. Like the Neon SRT4. Yes. Yes! The GM North Star is pretty bad. We're talking about some weird stuff over here. I never in my life seen a Miata driver sad. That's true. I don't think I've ever seen a sad Miata. They're always happy. With the EJ platform, anytime the heads are disassembled to put back together using any sort of RTV sealant, you always have to remove the oil pan and clean the pickup. I've had the P0011 issue. Interesting. I mean, if I have to pull the oil pan and put it back on, I'll definitely do so. The weird thing about this P0011 issue is that it follows the oil control valve whenever I swap it. Specifically one of the oil control valves. So we'll see. If the oil control valve issue doesn't fix it, we'll go to cam gears. If the cam gear doesn't fix it, we'll go to oil pan. If that doesn't fix it, we're going to pour like 5 gallons of gasoline on the car, set it on fire, and push off a bridge. Done with it at that point. We need to find that 1 thumbs down and burn them at the stake. Oh, geez, things are getting vicious over there. Is it easy to DIY radiant fuel pump wiring kit? It's not hard, as long as you can understand the basic understanding of a wiring diagram. It's pretty easy. I think I got mine knocked out in about an hour when I did it on the 2017 STI. Oh, I don't even know. Right here, sad Miata owner. Doug, why you a sad Miata owner, man? How? I always see happy Miata owners. I need a Miata. Melanie and I need a Miata. We need Miatas. That's a good troubleshooting clue. Following the valve. Hopefully that's it. I'm still on my filter screens 152K. Good luck and clean every oil 3500. Facts. Yeah, that's why I'm saying since that code is following the messed up valve, I mean, that's the only, like, it's got to be logically, and like logically it has to be it, logically speaking. I have a 2011 STI built 450 wheel horsepower. I have piston slap with a built closed deck block. It's totally normal. Once it's warmed up, even when it's warmed up, if it still does it once it's warmed up, that's not really normal. It normally happens when it's cold, just because of the thermal expansion of the materials used in a forged piston versus one that is like a cast piston. Once it's warmed up, though, it should be like pretty, like it should like expand out and seal to everything, and it shouldn't be slapping around anymore. Cody, you can't burn it. Too much love in it. That car has drained all my love. I have no more love to give it. I have like a little bit. A little. Not too much. Saying at 99, they're the best year. See, I hate wiring. That's why I'm asking. Why? It's not too bad. I hate wiring. I hate wiring, and I got to wire a whole car. I had to de-pin an entire car's wiring harness. It's not too bad once you get into it a little bit. I just put an S15 steering wheel in my S14, and it looks clean. I want an S15 into an S14. I want an S13 hatch. Can I have an S13 hatch? Let's do that. I'm totally down for that. Give me a KA. We'll swap it to an SR. I like those things. Nasty little engines. Is a master cylinder brace and steel brake line worth it? 100% yes. Yes, it gives so much better braking feedback and feel than the stock rubber lines and not having a brace at all. German Nice Guy. Hey, from Germany. What's going on, German Nice Guy? Only time you need to start worrying is once it's past a degree. True. That is true. Yeah, half the two thing, I'm not too worried about it. I have the same sweatshirt. That's what I'm saying. These are solid sweaters. These are solid hoodies. I'm all about it. So you have to buy waistgates. The Killer Bee headers aren't there really. The Killer Bee headers aren't there really, but they are still sort of there without the waistgates, like as a bundle. So it's technically just a header. So you have to buy the waistgates separate. Oh, interesting. I didn't know they were doing that. I mean, just buy them separate. Totally buy it separate. Do that. Do that. Do that. What we got going on over here? What clutch do you like for 354? I mean, it depends on how much torque you're going to be making. Clutches are measured in torque and not horsepower. So it's really going to come down to your setup and how much torque you're going to be planning on to make. But if you're looking at a good clutch setup, definitely check out ACT. That's what I've been using, and that's what I'm going to be using on the 17 STI now, and that's what I'm using in the 05. I like their clutches. They're good responsive clutches. They feel good, and they're somewhat affordable. Am I the only one with stock 13-inch wheels on their Subaru? Maybe. Maybe. Master cylinder brace installed on a 2008 STI will make you question your existence and competence playing in traffic. Or contemplate playing in traffic. That's a fact. That thing's so dumb on those ones because I'm pretty sure that's the one where you have to install them when you go up into the fender, and then you have to hold it on the outside. I don't know why I'm playing with scissors right now. You have to hold the master cylinder brace on one side and then go like down up into the fender to like tighten these screws. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Hey man, just dropping in and tell you that I love your channel and you've helped me a lot since I started modding my WRX. Hey, glad to hear, my friend. What does the cam exhaust slow code mean? I don't know, Joe. I don't know. I'm all about the intake cams right now. Just one thing at a time. OCVs are hopefully the key. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully the OCVs, oil control valve on the AVCS. Hopefully that fixes our issue and we don't have to do this anymore. No more pizza argument. No more pizza argument. We have determined that Domino's is the best. Just kidding. It's not the best, but that's what I had for dinner last night. Push comes to shove, you can always delete AVCS and plug the oil feeds in the cam, and have the tuner AVCS. True. I mean, if I was going to delete AVCS, we would just swap cam gears at that point. Also, we would just go. We would also. Well, we'd have to swap the gasket or the plug for the intake cams. We would just plug those, run like Brian Crower cams at that point, and just run it that way. Like, there's a solution. There's always a solution, and having a car that doesn't have AVCS. A lot of people say AVCS is what makes a Subaru, and it's just adjustable timing on the fly, which I agree. It does help with power a lot, and we probably would lose a little bit of power if we swapped over to a set of like Brian Crower cam gears or something like that. Yeah, and swapped over to a set of cam gears like that. But it would still work. It wouldn't be the end of the world either. My 2020 WRX is giving me fine knock learner 1.6. Totally normal. Totally normal. I promise you. Negative 1.65. Totally normal. It's hard to throw off the energy, but I just got an 05 WRX for my first car. Congrats! And we picked it up. We pick it up this week. Ooh, I can't even talk right now. Congrats! That's an awesome car to pick up. Jelly. Thoughts on HKS equal length 409 stainless steel $600. Personally, I probably wouldn't buy one. HKS makes a lot of good stuff, but I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it's probably a solid header. I don't know. I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler when it comes to headers, like ETS Killer Bee. That's pretty much my go-to for those ones. I've ran Tomiko racing in the past, and they were all right. But HKS, not bad. Not bad at all. Do you like 944 Porsche or 928 S4 more? I'd probably get the 944. Personal preference, I'd probably get the 944. Have you seen the K24A swapped R33? Why? Why would someone do that? Why? Is it Is it K24A? What am I? Wait, no, that's a different motor I'm thinking of. What am I thinking of? Oh my, I'm having a brain fart. K24A. Hold up, I need to do a Googles. K24A. Honda K. Jesus. I was thinking of a KA. Oh, from a 240. I don't know why. That's interesting. That's an interesting swap right there. I have not seen that one. All the fuel lines are in the way, and you have to be... That is also true. You do have a ton of fuel lines in the way. Also, Cody! Appreciate the dono, man. Is AOS suggested on port injection FA20 engines? What are you doing? I mean, yes, I would still suggest an air oil separator. Are you doing the IBR setup with the port injection? Have they even released a harness for that yet? Little Caesars hands down $5 hot and ready. I'm all about it. I like the Little Caesars hands down $5 hot and readies. They're good. They're good pizzas for $5. Hey man, just got your butterfly. Welcome, butterfly. How was your evening? How was your evening, my man? How was your evening? How was everyone's evening? I hope everyone's having like a chill evening. Rocking the stock BBSs on mine. I still got stock BBSs. I like the stock BBSs. I'm all over the place with comments tonight. I am literally all over the place. Going to replace my injector, 17 STA, stock fuel rails, stock fuel lines, intake downpipe headers, maybe flex fuel cob package soon too. Ooh. Should I get ID 1340s? Not looking for crazy power. Yeah, I would get ID 1300s. If you're going to be running flex fuel, definitely get ID 1300s, your ID 1050s. If you have those ones, or if you plan on running those ones, will max out relatively quickly. ID 1300s for the win there. Pizza Hut for the win over here. Pizza Hut. I haven't had Pizza Hut in a long time. They do have some pretty good crust on their pizzas. I will say that. It's got to be the AVCS control valve. I got the same code and fixed it and no problems. See, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully it is the oil control valve. That's what I'm hoping here is that it's the oil control valve. Because it seems to be following the oil control valve. And I have seen that swapping the OCV definitely helps fix other people's problems. So I am just hoping and praying, after all of these issues we've had, that it's an easy fix. So give me an easy fix for once. Honestly, Naziak has had almost every problem in troubleshooting post you could want. Unfortunately, traffic on that side is pretty low because most people favor local Facebook groups. That is true. Naziak, I go to Naziak all the time. I search Naziak all the time for anything that I'm trying to find, but all the Naziak stuff that I can find when it comes to this P0011 is typically banjo bolt related, which is not my problem. That is not my problem over here. I just saw something about homemade pizzas. Oh yeah, I can never go wrong with a homemade pizza. That's true. I mean, homemade pizza is pretty good pizza. Can-eat pizza. How do we get the pizza discussion? Who brings up the pizza discussion in every live stream? How did this start? It has to be the AVCS control. Yep, that's what. Okay, we talked about that one. It's got to be though. I agree with you. It's got to be the oil control valve. Can we set our cars on fire together? Let's hold a meet. We'll go out in like the middle of the desert. Anyone who wants to set their car on fire is welcome to come. You just got to bring a car to set on fire. We'll have our whole little get up out there. Where do you find troubles? Sorry. Where do you go to find troubleshooting information on the STI? So typically, I mean that's a fair and very good question of troubleshooting stuff. So when it comes to a problem, there's only so many solutions to what could be, or there's only so many things that could be causing the problem. In my case of the oil control system or the over advanced on the intake cam, if we think about it, intake cam, AVCS, they're tied together because the AVCS is controlling the variable timing inside of that intake cam. So when it comes to that, there's only so many things it could be. So if you're completely lost in the woods, you don't know where to start. Like what was mentioned, Naziak is a really good place to start. YouTube is a really good place to start. I'm going to be doing a troubleshooting video on this code specifically tomorrow for anyone else that comes up with this problem, and hopefully it fixes our issue. But it's like reverse engineering. Whenever you have a problem, you figure out what the problem is. You sit down, you brainstorm like what could be causing the problem. List out everything that could be causing the problem, and start going through and checking it off. Like electrical, the way I do it is I break it up into like different components. It's like mechanical, electrical, oil related. So there's different components within what could be causing the issue. So going through and breaking it down to be like, all right, this is a mechanical problem. Here's everything mechanical that it could be. Then you go through, you check off that list. All right, there was nothing in that list. Is it electrical? You use sensors, everything. Go through, check the list again. It's like reverse engineering. You just have to list out everything that could potentially be the problem and start back engineering from what the issue is to what the solution might be. Also, God, I really don't mean to butcher your name. Briar? Appreciate the dono, man. Do you know why there isn't a turbo kit? Or do you know why there isn't a kit to adapt a stock location turbo to a rotated kit? The one's different. There actually are. There's one kit that I've seen out there that actually does adapt a stock up pipe to a rotated up pipe. I don't know how effective they are whenever it comes to flow, and I don't know how effective they are whenever it comes to preventing exhaust leaks. There is one kit that I've seen out there. It's just an up pipe, though. Yeah, I mean, I've seen it done. Not a lot of people do it. I had a dream I had a Subaru-only tuning shop and woke up so motivated. I'm looking into training and apprentice programs. Subarus really do hit different. They do. I mean, when Subarus run right and they cooperate with you, they're good cars. When they decide to throw temper tantrums and they don't, they're a huge pain. I mean, that can be said about any car, though. Oh, no, Tanner, reading the comments up, down, left, right, all over. Dude, I'm all over the place tonight. I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere tonight. My brain is like scrambled. My brain is fried. Like I said, I've been troubleshooting for like 2 days straight. All right. I'm all over the place right now. So ID 1050X injectors require fuel rails on a 2004 STI, right? Correct. If you get the top feed. This rebuild is so expensive. FP, Blue, and RA block. Trust me, I know. I've just gone through this too with the extent of buying a new short block. But it is expensive. It'll pay off in the long run. Try to stay motivated. I know. Let's talk about KFC. Why are we talking about KFC now? KFC's a dying business. I like KFC, but they're a dying restaurant. Let's all be real here. We talked about Naziak right there. Finally caught a stream. Welcome. The Thirst Aid Kit? I think I got that one right. Rallycross my Miata or sell it. Yo, if you sell that Miata, let me get it. I'll take that Miata. I can pay you in gum. That's all I got. That's all I got is gum. Just finished up new calipers and full braking system. So there's... See, I wish I was at, like, a spot with the 05 STI where I was just having, like, common problems. Like, hey, somebody cut my brake lines. At least I can replace those easily. I don't know. I wish it was, like, something easier. I liked my Integra. I totally missed that. So, oh, gosh. So, got so many codes related to the exhaust and intake cam. That is a lot. You have mine, P0011. Welcome. Car is currently in the shop because I wasn't able to find any info on that. That is a lot of codes. I'm curious what P000A is. What is that? What is P00A? A P000A? No. A. What is that? When your vehicle sets, means the timing of this process is slower than expected. Interesting. What was B? Oh, that's a Subaru right there. Camshaft position slow response. Ooh, I don't even know. Hey, I don't even know on that one. I have not seen that many codes pop up before. I would nope, I pooped my pants. I'd poop my pants right there if I saw that many codes pop up. I saw 5 codes pop up. I had a misfire in every single cylinder and the P0011 code, and I was like, nope, I'm done with this. Turned the car off, went back inside. I was like, nope, not dealing with this. I just looked up, I think, and I find this. What did we find? What did we find? Hondas are great cars. Why the hate? Who's hating on Hondas? Who's hating on Hondas? I don't understand. Any comments on the recent drama with PIA tuning? What's the recent drama with PIA? I'm curious. What's the recent drama with PIA? Someone throw it out there. Now I want to know because PIA is just down the road. I wouldn't personally bring a car there, but I'm curious now. You have caught my attention. With the T. I don't know if you read my question. German nice guy. Let me go back up, my friend. Let me find it. I'm looking for it because I'm all over the place with comments tonight. I do apologize. I'm left, right, up, down, diagonal. All over the place. I don't know if I read your comment. I can't even find your comment. German nice guy. Where's your comment, man? I don't see it. Why am I biting that? German nice guy. Repost it up there. If I see it pop up, I will definitely jump back on it. But I may have missed it somewhere. I do apologize. Like I said, I'm all over the place. All over the place tonight. Butterfly. For some reason, it blocked yours. I had KFC like 2 weeks ago. And all right. Recent drama with PIA tuning was someone's car blew up on the way home or something from the tune. I've had a couple friends have that happen to them. Go flawed. Go flawed? What does that mean? German nice guy. I can't find him, my man. I'm sorry. I have okay, I found it right here. I have a problem with my 2006 Impreza WRX STI S12B WRC replica. 40% pedal equals 80% power. Calibration. Calibration between throttle position and throttle body. Woo! Recalibrate those. That should help get everything back on track. I had a very similar issue with my BRZ. We just recalibrated the throttle position based off of the throttle body and the gas pedal. Just pull up the procedure online. It should be able to walk you through it. German, what was the question? See, right there. Links don't share. It's unfortunate. I don't know why YouTube blocks links. I honestly don't know why. I do not know why it does so. I do not know. Love Hondas. I'm personally not a huge fan of Hondas. But if I were to get a Honda S2000, obviously, it's not, actually, it'd probably just be an S2000. I'm not a huge Honda fan. I'm just not a huge fan of front wheel drive. It's just not my cup of tea. Which should be the first mod to my 15 STI? Maintenance. Get everything back on track. Anything that is disposable, a wear item, replace them. After that, AOS, start modding from there. Would I ever do a twin scroll setup on a future build? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. At some point. I'd totally be down for it. Back to the pizza. Little Caesar stuffed crust. Bro, what about exity clutch question? Mickey, I missed it. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place right now. I do apologize. I'm like up, left, down, right, up, square, circle. Mickey, if you post it back up, I'll keep an eye for it in the current chat that populates over here. Best burger place. Five Guys. Locally, probably Five Guys. I love Five Guys. My WRX channel's Type R is sick. JR does have a very nice Type R. He does have a very nice Type R. He's a very nice gentleman. Very nice man. Very nice man. How much does a 22B go for? I think the last time I saw a 22B sell, I think it sold for like a little over 100,000. I would never do it, but they'd be cool. I'd probably modify it. Knowing me, I'd probably modify it. That's just what I do. It's just what I do. Remember when the WRX was going to be a reliable daily? It's not even a reliable not daily right now. It's just not even reliable right now. It just don't even run right. It will, hopefully tomorrow. You skipped a few questions 10 minutes ago. Like I said, I was all over the place. Mickey, throw your question back up over here. I have the live chat pulled up so that way I can see when it pops up, and I'll definitely jump on it. Can we talk about how amazing cheese pizza is? Cheese pizza is the blandest of all pizzas. You don't even got even no toppings on there. Come on, you got to have some toppings. You really missing a lot. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm all over the place. You're really missing a lot of questions. Got something higher up concerning... Briar's question. Okay, I'm going back up. I'm looking. Briar, I'm looking, my man. I will find it. Somewhere in here. Where are you? Where is it? I have no idea. I am all over the place. Mickey, bro, I have an XZ HD Stage 1 on my 2016 STI, and it's very heavy. Do you know why? I mean, it's a heavier clutch than OEM. The OEM STI clutch is a relatively heavy clutch in comparison to a lot of them out there. Cheese is a topping. Cheese, back with the cheese. It's already going to be a heavier clutch once it breaks in and you've actually worn the clutch in, it should start to feel a lot better and a lot more reasonable. Either that or you're going to start building up a lot more leg muscle and it's just going to start feeling a little bit easier also. The competition clutch in the BRZ was the same way when I first started driving it. It was like extremely, extremely stiff. Hopefully I win the Chemical Guys back. We did the Chemical Guys drawing at noon on Instagram, like I said I would. It's an it's an unmasked ADHD kind of live stream. We're all over the place. There's no stopping me tonight. But yeah, we did the drawing for the Chemical Guys stuff at like noon. Winner is posted up on the community tab if anyone is curious on that one. Okay, Brer, I'm looking for the other one that I missed that I said I'd go back. Brer, I recently installed the HKS header, picked up top, and it sounds like a straight pipe Porsche now. Ooh, that does sound good. That's the only one I see from Brer. You guys, I'm all over I don't even know where I was now. I don't even know where I was in the comments because I just scrolled all the way back up on them. All the way back up. 22B only in Japan. I believe they were only in Japan. I saw some of them get exported out of Japan. Burger Tower or Burger Tui, hands down. I've never heard of it. Can we talk about homemade cheese pizza? Jesus, about the cheese. Oof, I was thinking about calling them up for a rebuild early on. Personally, I don't think I would take my cars there. I've seen people go there with good success. I've also seen a lot of horror stories come out of there. Go forward. That's like towards the screen if I go forward. Forward. Hey man, love your videos. They really help. Hey, glad to hear, Antonio. Mickey is right. Mickey, you skipped I'm all over the place, man. My boy has an 07 STI on E85, and once it starts rolling, it's shuddering and throws a P0507 code, and it had a boost leak. And that is fixed. Your thoughts, spark plugs, fuel pump. Well, what is a P0507? P0507. I don't have these codes memorized, so I got to Google them. Looks like a throttle thing. P07 code mean the idle air control valve, excessively high RPM. Try replacing the idle air control valve. Try swapping that out and see if that corrects the issue, because that's the first thing that came up. Idle air control valve. Plumber, appreciate the dono and the hot dog, man. I'm all about the hot dog. I go for some good like barbecue food. I haven't had good barbecue food in a long time. But I will also tell you I had another friend of mine who will be picking up a 1997 Honda Civic CVCC and using it as a daily driver. That's like a good daily driver. That sounds like a reliable daily driver. Thanks a lot. Any time, man. 22Bs go for like 100K near me in auction. That's ridiculous. There's no way I'd ever pay 22B. It's a really cool car. Oh, I would never justify spending $100,000 on it. No way. No way. When are you getting the drive hoodies back in? Which ones? These ones? Which drive hoodies? The camo ones? Or like the, or like these ones? Like these ones, I have these ones. I have a whole bunch of mediums and larges of these. These ones were pre-order only. If you guys want, I can definitely open the pre-order back up. I think the last of the shipments go out tonight for the last pre-order. So if you guys want pre-order, I can definitely open up another pre-order. You still need to drive your friend's Integra. His car's down too. His doesn't work either right now. I love my S2000 AP1. I'd modify it, but it only has 62K on the dash. Ooh, that's a gem. Keep that thing. Keep that thing forever. Come to Wichita for some awesome barbecue. Ooh, I drove through Wichita a very long time ago. I haven't been through there in a very long time. It's a cool little area, though. Cool little area. Kumas Corner for burgers. Interesting. All these new burger places. What can be causes of random rough idles? Attempt number 4. LOL. Random rough idles. I mean, there could be a lot. Spark plugs, idle air control valve, boost leak, fuel fuel pressure not set properly. There could be a lot of things affecting a random rough idle like that too. It does have a grind when I let off throttle though. That sounds easy to fix. Hondas are easy to work on, right? Wait, Wichita in Texas or Wichita in Kansas? That is true. There's more than one. Wichita, Kansas. Kansas. Yes, sir. Five Guys is very good. See, another vote for Five Guys. Five Guys is where it's at. Five Guys, so sad. Local chain that went national. There's nothing wrong with that. You're really missing a lot of... I know. I'm all over the place. What up? Finally got in the stream. What up? Ozarkin? I think I got that one. Best local restaurant in Whiteville, North Carolina. We're talking about food. How do we always get on the topic of food in these? Thoughts on the SVX? Love the SVX. I love the SVX so much. I wanted one of its engines to build and throw into my 17 STI. I love it. I like the SVXs though. In reality, they're cool little coupes. They're definitely different. I do like the styling that came out of them. Personally, I don't think I'd ever want to. I might buy one actually at some point. If I ever got like an SVX for a good price, I'd probably take one. Try hot honey on pizza. Ooh. What's my dream car? This question comes up. Probably an older Porsche, like a 994, 944, something along those lines. I don't know. I just like the older Porsches. I like the older ones. I don't understand why Cobb can't make an access port for every car in the world. They probably could, but they'd have to like decode a lot of ECU stuff. Alright, all this talk of food. We keep talking about food. Every time I talk about food in these streams, I always get hungry. So I'm hopping off. I'm going to get some food. You guys brought some food. Look at that. Chicago pizza's OP. Food is important. I'm all about the food. Alright, I'm hopping off. I gotta do a little bit of more diagnosing with the car anyways. I'm gonna go eat some food, go play with it a little bit, and try to knock it out. Why don't you have one screen for chat? Easier to read. I need to get a second screen. I know, okay? I just got this new microphone to fix microphone. I just got the stuff to get the camera set up. I'm working on improving the stream setup. I'm trying it one day at a time. I'm working on it, I promise. But anyways, I'm gonna hop off, go grab some food. Plumber, appreciate the last minute dono, my man. Next video should hopefully be the STI running around if this world control valve is the issue. So that video, what is it today? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That video will probably be out Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Live stream on Tuesday. It'll be a lot more organized. I promised I won't be all over the place. So have a good Monday, everyone, and I will catch you guys